2007 ran so that 2011 could fly. Yes, we need to discuss why 2011 was the absolute pinnacle of modern gaming, and arguably all of gaming as we know it. Let's jump in. Before we continue, please make sure to smash like and hit subscribe for all the nostalgic gaming content. In 2011 alone, we saw a plethora of iconic franchises that have reached the pinnacle of their greatness. The long-awaited return of Deus Ex with Human Revolution came with its newly rich cybernetic world and story, character progression system, with the iconic augmentation abilities being revamped. Batman Arkham City is arguably up there as the best sequel in gaming. Basically, this game just improved everything from its predecessor. In terms of the scope of the world map, mind-blowing ending, and numerous Riddler challenges along the way. Elder Scrolls V Skyrim brought gamers into the most ambitious world that the Elder Scrolls franchise has created thus far, touted as a game that you can literally play forever, still getting ports to this day, and burst some glorious memes along the way. Hey, that rhymed! Sonic Generations was the savior of what seemed to be a nearly dead franchise at the time, thanks to Sega finally understanding the fundamental cores of what makes Sonic fun, going fast and layered level designs. Also, being that it was the 20th anniversary, making this a throwback game with iconic levels and boss battles throughout the series' history added some well-deserved nostalgia for Sonic fans. Gears of War 3 capped off the beloved Xbox franchise with the satisfying ending of our heroes in the fight for humanity's survival from the Locust. Yeah, let's pretend it all ended here. Sorry, 4 and 5. To continue on the train of pre-existing game franchises and new games alike, we can't forget to point out just how vast video games were in 2011 in terms of genre variety, new franchises, and bundled deals. Continuing down the list of games, we got a massive showcase of third-person action games. Uncharted 3 Drake's Deception and its massive interactive Hollywood set pieces. Dead Space 2 introduced multiplayer for the first time in the horror series. The return of Geralt in The Witcher 2 Assassins of Kings, leveling up the combat gameplay and a more dense role-playing world to explore. Dark Souls 1 nearly perfected the hardcore combat gameplay design that was in its infant stages from its older brother Demon's Souls, being replicated in games still to this day. Zelda Skyward Sword, while it remains a divided entry amongst fans of the historic series, was one of Nintendo's last big efforts for the Wii, giving players a truly immersive experience thanks to its use of the Wii Motion Plus. Making it feel like we were accurately swinging a sword or shooting a bow really did make for engaging combat encounters and puzzle solving. Speaking of Nintendo, the release of the Nintendo 3DS in 2011, although not as big as its OG brother, has to be one of the greatest launch year lineups gaming has ever seen. I mean, look at this list! One mega mushroom to mention for 3DS's arrival, Super Mario 3D Land integrated the use of real three-dimensional tech from the 3DS hardware, although headache-inducing at times, not gonna lie. The game really shined in its level design by translating the 2D linear approach to a unique 3D layered approach of getting to the end of each zone. 2011 platformers continued to blossom with the release of Rayman Origins, seeing the return of the 90s mascot back in his rightful 2D side-scrolling glory, backed by an incredible art style, soundtrack, and fun 2D platforming level design to boot. Of course, we can't miss Portal 2, continuing the puzzle platforming craze that started with its predecessor, but now bringing the ante up with a hilarious storyline, great character banter, and just overall tighter gameplay and portaling challenges. Valve created an all-time classic with Portal 2. If only they could just count to 3. Little Big Planet 2, another platforming sequel, brings back the in-game creation and community level maker to greater heights, boasting incredible original levels and even nostalgia creations from games like Zelda, Mario, and Metal Gear Solid, made by gamers around the world. Other games to make an impact include Rockstar with its impressive detective action crime thriller LA Noire, BioWare coming off the success of a back-to-back sequel streak from Mass Effect 2 back in 2010, and now with Dragon Age 2 for 2011, also releasing its massively successful MMORPG Star Wars Wars: The Old Republic as well. Assassin's Creed Revelations caps off the Ezio Auditore saga in grandiose fashion. The 3DS puzzle game Pushmo, made by the OG Nintendo dev team who've worked on the likes of the OG Mario Bros. Arcade and Fire Emblem game. Racing games like Forza 4 set the standard for modern racing simulators with a massive update on vehicle roster and photorealistic graphical showcase. 3 excellent bundle collections to mention from that year in the forms of the Eco and Shadow of the Colossus collection, Metal Gear Solid HD collection, and even a surprise for fighting fans with Tekken Hybrid, which gave gamers Tekken Tag 1 and a demo of 2, and even a CGI feature film in the mix. Another bonus for fighting fans that year was the long-awaited Marvel vs. Capcom 3, having the biggest dream character roster of all time, insane finishers, and the iconic 3 character combos amped up to the max. First-person shooters continued the train where 07 left off, with heavy hitters that were Bulletstorm, Killzone 3, Crysis 2, Rage, Resistance 3, Kim Jong-un's favorite game Homefront, and COD MW3, which was the biggest launch of any entertainment property in history at the time. Lastly, yes, we have to talk about Minecraft. While 2011 wasn't the first time it was out, it did mark the release of the official version to the public. Now, what else is there to say about this game that hasn't already been said? Currently coming second off of Tetris in terms of sales, it's literally the biggest thing on this side of pop culture and a good majority of all entertainment. Developed by Swedish developer Mojang, you stack blocks on blocks, craft, survive some zombies, and making this blocky world your own thing or share with friends. Anything else worth note of mentioning is just how much of a chokehold it still has all these years later. From endless merchandise, the game literally giving people a career just playing or talking about the game, and was a pioneer of the Let's Play movement, as well as some spin-off games, and now will be cemented in history with an official feature-length film release due by 2025. Whew, 2011 was dense. Surely with a year like this, there's no way gamers could have encountered any negative moments. Never.